And welcome to In-Game Chat for Saturday, September the 21st, 2019. It's Season 13, Episode 34. I'm Scott.
And I'm RJ.
Hey, it's just us. Just the two of us. If you'd like to get in touch with the two of us, well, by all means call 334-272-9228. 334-272-9228. Check out ingamechat.net for all the links to get in touch with us. It is easy to do. Just go to that website, ingamechat.net, ingame.net. That's how you can find us. You'll find us on Twitter at InGameChat. You'll find us on Facebook at InGameChat. You can email us, everyone, at ingamechat.net. We're all over the place. And we're streaming right now on your computer or phone or ever how you want to watch us. We're doing it live on camera. Twitch.tv. If you go there or download the Twitch app on your phone, you can find us there by typing In-Game Chat in the search bar of the app or on the webpage, and you'll find us. If you go to our website, you can just click on the link and it'll open right up. It's that easy to do. So, welcome one and all. Who is in the room there? Anybody? That is not what I wanted to click on. What do we got? Oh, it's just us. One of those days. Ain't nobody watching. Just us. Which is absolutely fine. I'm going to do the clapboard, which I didn't even need to turn down the music for, but I'm just doing the clapboard. That is episode 34. It is episode 577, if you're counting.
Jeez, we've been doing this a while, haven't we?
A very long while. A very, very, very long time. Not always at Saturdays, but a very long time.
Yeah.
Started in 2008. Doing one show a week.
Mm-hmm.
And
random locations.
Well, you know, for the most part, it was always here. And then we stopped doing it here and started doing it in one of the trailers over at ASF.
Fun times.
In other places over at ASF as well. Then we moved it to my house.
Yep.
And we did it in my living room for a very long time. And then we got back on the air, and we've been doing that ever since. And I want to say that goes back to 2013.
Yeah. That's how I learned ASF.
I say 2013. It may go back even. It may go back before that. It may go back 2014, 13 or 14, I think, is when we got back in the saddle on this thing on the radio. So, and we've been doing it ever since, every single Saturday since then. So, yeah, long time, long time. It's been a very long time of doing this. Hey, my Switch is working and not working.
Okay, what happened?
Yeah, well, you know, remember last week?
Yeah, last week you had that screen pop up, and then you got the orange screen and all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
when last we left our heroes, his Nintendo Switch was bricked.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, as soon as he opened it up here in the studio and turned it on, he got an error message. And I can't remember what the error code was. I know that it was a very... There were not a lot of solutions to this thing.
Yeah.
There were not a lot of, oh, this is just one of those things. All you need to do is this little quick fix and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, that was not the case. It was, hey, you can try this. It might work. If not, I ended up having to send mine in. So I got home with the Switch and I tried to get it to work there and nothing. What I ended up doing was pretty much taking my network offline, my Wi-Fi offline, so that it wouldn't try to connect.
Yeah, one of the situations was that faulty.
Right, I'm thinking it's
something
it's something to do with that, and I So I turned my internet off at the house, or at least the Wi-Fi off at the house. So I tried to turn it on, and it would never get back to like a menu screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't get it fixed that way. And so I just left it. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to let the battery run down, and I'll get to it later and see what happens. So I turned it off. I thought the battery would run down while it's turned off. But no, while it's turned off, it apparently does a very good job of saving battery. Because when I turned it on yesterday, I think it was last night. Yeah, when I turned it on last night, first time I turned it on since Saturday evening. 75% power was left.
And you can't take the battery out in this.
You can't take the battery out.
Right, yeah.
You can just leave it on and let it sort of drain. I mean, it drains quite fast when you're playing it, because I know on my plane ride to Seattle, it got down to about halfway by the time I landed and was in my hotel and everything.
That was a 5.5 flight, 3-4 hour?
Five and a half hour flight, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't play it for 5.5 hours, obviously, but the amount of time I did put into it, it ate up about half of the battery. Anyway, turned it on last night. It worked. It connected, and I thought, oh, that's great. This is nice. I went and I put it in the cradle, let it sit there. I got up this morning. I turned it on, and I was going to play some Creature in the Well, but I had this other game that doesn't come out until the 5th of October. I don't know if I'm under any kind of NDA on this, but I will break it anyway. Not because I haven't played much of any of it. Eyes of Aura is what it's called, and it is I thought it was a very Room-esque puzzle type game.
Right.
I decided I would sit in bed and play it with the Pro controller that comes with the Switch, which is like your regular looking video game controller, rather than the Joy-Cons, those little things on the side. Does not let you play it. This game does not let you play with the Pro controller. You either have to play handheld mode, or you have to play with the Joy-Cons detached. And the Joy-Cons are used as a pointer on screen to point and do stuff. Otherwise, I guess you do that with the touch stuff on the Switch handheld. I don't know. Yeah. It wasn't very fun to play that way, and my calibration for using the controller as a pointer is way off. So that was not fun. Anyway, whatever. Played a little bit of that, turned it off, then fired up God of War. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. But before I came to work, I said I'm going to take the Switch and see how it does at the radio station, because that's where it screwed up. Let's see if it does it again.
Right.
I turn it on at home, make sure it's still going and everything, and I get the error mode again. I get the error again.
Yeah.
This time it's not as fast. After a few tries, I was able to, upon restart, get into the settings and pop on airplane mode as soon as I could. Even as I popped on airplane mode, it still popped up the error, and I had to restart. But after restarting with airplane mode enabled, it has not had a problem. So it is Wi-Fi specific. It is it is an internet connection type specific problem that I have with it. And I don't know really what to do about it. Although it was connecting at home. It connected at home. Think about it. It was Friday night, connected, no problem. Stayed connected. I woke up this morning. I didn't do anything to it. I just put it on TV mode so I could play it on the TV. I didn't touch it or turn it on or anything like that, and it worked perfectly fine. I checked some stuff out on the Nintendo eShop, the store that's on there. I was checked my friends list, seeing what they were playing, went to games that they were playing into the store so I could look at those, watched a couple of trailers from the store. Everything worked fine. Worked perfectly fine. It worked perfectly fine, and then it stopped. Now, it did stop once I removed it from the cradle, which I don't know that has anything to do with it. I don't know.
The cradle's just power, isn't it?
It's power and it access to the TV, so you can put the screen onto the television instead of the handheld.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I really do not know what the situation is with that. By the way, Matt is not here. Not that you could tell. For those of you watching can tell. For those of you listening, he hasn't said anything. Matt is not here. This also means that if you call us, my head is going to be turned towards RJ, which is away from the phone. which means if you call, let it ring, and let it ring some more. Eventually, I will see the flashing light. But just, be patient on the phone calls. That's all. So yeah, there's where I'm sitting with my Nintendo problems right now.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to getting Link's Awakening and going through with that, but I'm going to hold off on that for right now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Part of me, what I should do, here's what I should do. I should go online, find a website that says, here's how to back up all of your stuff on your Nintendo. Here's how to, what I want to do is basically make a carbon copy of the system on a hard drive somewhere. Not to pirate, not to play it, not to do anything with it, but to keep it safe while I turn that in to get a new one. Or to get that one repaired. And something so that everything is safe, so that when it comes back, I will have all my purchases saved. I'll have all my save states saved. That's what I want to try and make happen. I don't exactly know how to do that, but that's what I want to try and have done. So I might look into that, because I'm afraid this thing is just going to be continuing this. Like, you'll get it working, and it'll work forever how long it's going to work, but if you do this one method, it'll switch into the error mode, and then you're screwed. So, I don't know. You shouldn't have to set it in airplane mode every time you want to take it somewhere, or every time you're nervous about taking it somewhere. You shouldn't have to put it in airplane mode to do it. So, I don't know. We'll find out the ongoing issues of my launch version Nintendo Switch. Day of release. Ever how long ago that was, is when I picked it up. After saying that I wasn't going to do it. After saying for weeks that I was not going to pick it up, I ran over there after work one day and picked it up on launch day. I was talking with a friend of mine at Best Buy. I said, you got it? Yes, we do. You want to get in line? Yes, I do. So I ran over there after work, and I got in line and got it. Oh, man.
March 3rd, 2017.
That is 2017. How in the hell have I had this thing that long? Man. March 3rd, 2017 was a Friday. Yep, exactly. Hey, we got calls. I don't know who it is, but we're going to take it.
Cool.
Hi, it's In-Game Chat. Who's this?
Hey, this is Chris.
Hey, Chris. How's it going, man?
I was wanting to tell you, since you're still having issues with your Switch, I've been watching a guy on YouTube that's a professional repairman. He repairs a lot of broken equipment and stuff he buys on eBay, and especially switches, and replaces chips and stuff.
Yeah.
The name of his his Tronics Fit on YouTube, but he has a store and everything where you might be able to contact him, and I can send you a link to his video page on YouTube or something. But I've seen a bunch of the videos he's repaired. He gets a bunch of broken systems and stuff and fixes them and replaces components and stuff in there, and he really looks like he knows what he's doing. If he can figure out what may be going on with yours, it may be a chip or something that went bad.
It's something to do. I mean, obviously, and you've heard me talking about it just now. I really feel it has something to do with the connection to the internet, because it works in airplane mode. Now, airplane mode turns off a lot of things. Well, actually, no. I think Bluetooth. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how the controller connects to the Switch. Like when you detach the Joy-Cons and you've got the Pro controller, I don't know how they connect. If they connect through Bluetooth, normally when you turn airplane mode off, or when you turn on airplane mode, that shuts down any kind of wireless capabilities, including Bluetooth.
When I've seen him repair on one of those, the actual one you connect the Joy-Cons, it has like electrical connection that, it physically connects like to a little ribbon cable at the bottom corner. It's so tiny you probably wouldn't be able to see it, but he made a mistake and didn't clean the contact on one of those, and when he slid it into the compartment, it wouldn't recognize it, so he had to take the system back apart and clean that contact where it sits in the bottom corner of the rail. So, when you slot them in, they make a physical connection like you would plug it in like a normal system controller.
Yeah, I tell you, man, if this was any other company, Sony or Microsoft, even Apple, I don't feel like I would have any problem sending in my system to get it repaired and get it back to me. But Nintendo is not a bad company. I'm not going down this road right here. What I've heard, though, the horror stories, is the way Nintendo handles accounts is not very good. It's not friendly. With,
I've had the same gripe with them, too, and I'm praying that nothing happens to mine. But, other than that, the only thing I've seen, you can only really re-download the software that you bought, and and then if you have all your save data on the memory card, or if you can transfer the save data to your external card, I don't even know if you can do that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that again, if I look up the stories about it, it's something about the licensing to the Switch itself. Again, the Switch, when you buy a console and you put your name on it and that sort of thing, it is tied to you. Your account is tied to that system. It's not a standalone thing that you can transfer from system to system. It's tied to that one main system, and apparently there's an awful lot of work that goes into if you want to switch from one system to the other system. But I mean, I haven't looked at it in a while, but I know with other people that I've heard from or read about with their Switches and what they have to do, I kind of dread getting another system if I do that, and how it's going to handle the switch over to the new system. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys posted on what I do with this. Basically what happened was last night I thought, God, I really need to get on the ball and get this thing out to Nintendo so they can fix it. And so I turned it on and I was like, let's see what it's looking like. And the thing worked, and I thought, oh, well, maybe then I don't have to. And it worked and it worked and it worked until this afternoon, and said, nope, not going to work again. And then I was able to get the Wi-Fi turned off, or airplane mode on, and it works without that. It works fine. I just turned it on. I just turned it on in the studio here not too long ago, just before we went to air, and it came on. Everything worked. It was still in airplane mode, so the Wi-Fi and stuff was turned off, but it still worked.
That is very curious. So whatever is disabling from the airplane mode is solving the issue.
Yeah, and also let me put this out there for those who listen to this after it's aired. I mean, if you've heard of this, just shoot me an email. If you've got insight into this, send me an email. You can send it to everyone at ingamechat.net. That'll work fine. I mean, if you know me from the station, you can hit me up there if you want to. Whatever the case, if you hear this after it's aired live, I'm pretty sure I'm no further along then than I would be today.
But so, I do know that guy that I would mention. I'll send you a link in Facebook Messenger to his thing and all. He did mention that he has his own store that he sells the products that he's bought on eBay and fixed and repaired, and you might be able to contact him and describe what's going on, because he has taken other people's items in and repaired them, for other customers. So maybe hitting up with him may help you, may give you an idea.
Like I said, shoot it towards me and I'll take a look and see.
Yeah, but he seems like he really knows what he's doing, and he's, I've seen a bunch of his videos, and I think he bought like 20 broken switches on eBay and was able to fix 16 of them, but 2 of the motherboards were still fine. So he's replaced screens and everything. I mean, you name it. If he's done it. And then he had like 3 or 4 videos in the series where he was going through 20 switches and then figuring out what was going on. And said, if this capacitor here is shorted, then it must be this video chip. And he was able to fix just about every single one of them.
Yeah, so it was basically like taking various consoles and making like a little Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah,
just
basically.
Piecing it together. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's bought all replacement components and everything, and he has a bunch of them that he bought from China, the replacement chips and stuff. And
that's what Jeremy did. I mean, Jeremy did that with. That's how he had his shop and everything. Was just people would bring him in and say that they were either getting rid of them, or he would buy them at super cheap prices just so he could have the parts and either fix them and resell them for way more than what he got for what he bought them for.
Yeah,
because they're brand new and working order and everything else.
Yeah, it
so
works.
Yeah, or whatever the case. So yeah, I'm familiar with people that do that sort of thing. So I will, shoot that to me, and I will look into getting in touch with them. So thank you.
Yeah, I want to do some research and check in and fiddle with mine some and see what other options about backup data you can do. I'm really curious myself, so I may put Borderlands 3 down for a moment and help you out and see if we can figure out something.
Yeah.
Now you're critique my curiosity as well, just like a cat. So, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you calling in every week, and thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right, y'all have a good day, and hopefully we may find some good news out for you.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. Take care now.
See you, man.
Bye.
Right. Yeah, I hope something good comes of it. I hope I can get it fixed. What did I do with it?
Your what?
I must have put it back in my bag. My Switch. I thought I had it over here.
Yeah, there's something I'm probably going to have to look at in the future for Dreamcast. Probably plenty of the stuff out there now. It still works, but eventually it's going to get to the point where something's going to go wrong, and I need some parts to get it together.
Yeah, very likely. Very likely.
So I think the only thing I've replaced on mine now is the CD motor. That's the only thing I ever had to replace on that thing.
I used to have to do it was the was it PlayStation? I think it was on the PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
The flap that comes up that holds down. Yeah. So the either the spring on that was busted or whatever it was that pushed the button down to let it know that the lid was shut.
Yeah.
Was also busted.
Switching the button.
Yeah. So I remember having to put tape over something so it just always thought it was
always closed.
Yeah, I thought it was always closed, and then I could hit reset and pull the disc off, put another disc on, whatever the case. So.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like hot swapping you had to do for imports back in the day.
So, all right, we got to take our first break here, and our music this week. So, I don't know what led me to this guy, and I'm trying to think of what did.
I guess it was like one track that stuck in your head.
Nah, I did a search. I always do. Basically, what I do is I go up and I type in video game composers, and Google gives me a long list of names to pick from. So it didn't this time, so I went to Wikipedia, and it was video game composers. And I'm scrolling through, and this guy's name stuck out because he did the Prince of Persia game. Mm-hmm. But it turns out he did a lot of Prince of Persia games. It turns out that most of his video game music career is about 8 or 9 Prince of Persia games, and then one that is not a Prince of Persia game at all. So I've got about 8 or 9 Prince of Persia games here. The first one we're going to start off with is, by the way, his name is Stuart Chatwood. Stuart Chatwood is our featured composer today. He has done basically Prince of Persia since the Sands of Time. And I don't mean that euphorically. I mean the video game called Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. That's the game he started with, and he has done what feels like every Prince of Persia game afterwards, except for the one that was released based on the movie, which is, I believe, called The Forgotten Sands. That one he didn't score. So, although I do have it included in here, but that is not his. But anyway, our first one comes from the sort of reboot that took place in the middle of Prince of Persia. It was the Prince of Persia 2008 when it got this cel-shaded artistic look to it. It was very scarfy, and by that I mean there was a lot of flowing clothing on it. Mm-hmm. Like there's a headscarf that the prince had with this long tail.
Yeah.
And I think the woman you were trying to rescue, and there were all these plates that you had to trigger and stand on and do this other stuff with. And so it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And I think it left us hanging, really. I can't remember how all that works, but I think it left us hanging story-wise. Anyway, it was Prince of Persia 2008. This is the main theme from that, and it's Stuart Chatwood. We'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat for this Saturday, September the 21st. Scott and RJ here, just us. Our featured composer this week is Stuart Chatwood. This is Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. It's not really the first Prince of Persia game, but it was the first as far as the whole, the Prince of Persia line started to begin again after... Man, wasn't the original Prince of Persia, wasn't that a Mac game?
I think so, Mac.
An
PC?
Apple, Mac PC or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Originally designed for that, I think. I don't remember, but it goes back a ways. And then they sort of did let's do Prince of Persia 3D, which there was already a Prince of Persia 3D, but not in the sense of what 3D meant when you're talking about the generation of Xbox and PlayStation 2 and GameCube, that sort of thing. So, and I remember Prince of Persia: Sands of Time released within the same month thereabouts as Mario Kart Double Dash. It's the one where it was the GameCube Mario Kart, where there's a rider and then there's somebody sitting on the back. I want to say that was Double Dash, and I think something else that it was a good few weeks, right in the end of October, beginning of November, that these games released. It was real. Yeah,
Prince of Persia 89, by the way, on the Apple II.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
No. That's fine. That's exactly where my head was thinking was that it was a Mac game. So.
Yeah.
As far as the games that we played, I mentioned that I played Eyes of Ara on Nintendo Switch. I want to say that's getting a PC release, but I cannot be certain that it is. It comes out October the 5th? That's a Saturday, which seems odd.
No, not really.
Have you looked it up?
Somebody wanted to avoid that.
Is that what you're looking up, or did you look it up?
I'm looking it up right now.
Okay, because I was going to say I can hit it real quick.
Yeah.
And check. I'm actually curious.
Yeah, I was saying a lot of folks want to avoid that glut of Tuesday release, Friday release. They just release on a odd day.
Well, Nintendo normally releases on a Sunday some of their games, which is strange. But for the most part, we get Friday releases now on some really big titles, and it's because Friday they can do a worldwide release where everybody in the world gets it at the same time, or at least in the same time frame, rather than days apart. Because it used to be that a game would release on Tuesday for us, but on like a Friday for the UK.
Yeah. And
so just releasing on a Friday gives everybody the same chance to be with it. Have you found it?
I'm looking. I see something that comes up for a game for the 2017-2018. Eyes of Aura. Am I spelling it right? A-R-A?
A-U-R-A.
Eyes of Aura.
Yeah.
Okay. Aura. Well, some name is something like that.
What with that? I typed in Eyes of Aura, and it says, what causes ocular migraines?
Yeah.
That's not
what I had, yeah.
Wow. Did you get the same thing?
I got the same thing when I put A-U-R-A, but I put A-R-A, and I get a bunch of... I get a game from 2017-2018.
Eyes of Aura, Nintendo Switch. Maybe I'm spelling it, just go get my... There it is. It is A-R-A. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It is. It's A-R, the Eyes of Aura for Nintendo Switch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this popped up. Yeah, it popped up the same logo, but it was for Steam and whatnot.
Comes out October 15th.
Okay, yeah.
I'm guessing it must already be on PC if you're seeing something that this game was released. Well, maybe not. I don't know. It's not much of what I get here. Yeah, interesting. Well, this is an interesting thing to come into. Yeah, okay. I see Eyes of Aura full game walkthrough from 2018. The Eyes of Aura is a 2016 adventure game developed by a one-man independent game studio called 100 Stones Interactive, founded by Ben Droste, which I'm probably pronouncing wrong. It is on Windows and iOS and will be released on Nintendo Switch coming up in October. So I'm playing... Okay, got it. Okay, that makes sense now. Anyway, played a little tiny bit of that, and by a little tiny bit, I meant enough to where I got frustrated with the controls and said, I am not playing this. like that. I will play it in handheld mode to see if it gets better.
Yeah.
Or figure out a way to play it that's just easier to deal with. So we'll see. And other than that, I've been playing God of War. Just a whole bunch of God of War.
Trying to make progress because it's been a while since you picked that game up, wasn't it?
It had. Well, I mean, the thing came out last year.
Yeah.
Basically in May of last year. So, I told you when I jumped back into it, I saw that my save state because when I went to save the game, my progress, it's like, oh, here's your last save state. May of 2018 was the last save state that I had manually saved. And I always manually save before I turn off a game. Yeah. If I have that option. Yeah. I will always manually save, regardless of the autosave or anything like that. I'll always manually save. And I did that, and I was like, oh, wow, I haven't played this thing since May of 2018. God. Yeah. So, man, I've been enjoying the hell out of that. I am on chapter... There's another one I want to play. Gears of War. Yeah, I normally turn the TVs off when we're in here doing this, but there you go. Gears of War 5. Which I did start. I played the tutorial through that just so that I could say I played it because there was a certain thing. If you played Gears of War before a certain date, you get these extra characters that are going to be added to it or something. And I thought, fine, do that. Anyway, God of War, fantastic. I mean, you're not. Look, I realize I'm behind the 8 ball on this one.
No. Bear in mind, I haven't even started yet.
I know, but you haven't really heard a negative word about it. I mean, it got its reviews, its scores, and everything else. I mean, it's earned it. Trust me, nobody's wrong in the praise that they have given God of War. It's fantastic.
Yeah, all I hear maybe little nitpicks here and there, but nothing like saying the game is bad at all. I mean, everyone's pretty much enjoying it.
To get back on my rant of having my equipment be being used against me, my Nintendo Switch, I really feel like my PlayStation 4 controller is being really weird. I'm having some odd...
With the analog stick?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah.
I am having some really... I had this happen before with Destiny.
Same here.
Yeah.
I noticed it happens in first-person or first-person shooters. In my case with Destiny, it was trying to run and clicking down on L3 just was like 50-50. It just sometimes it wouldn't run at all. Or sometimes my character would start running and then stop midway and I have to hit the button again. It's like it wouldn't it wouldn't recognize the L3 push. And then the analog started messing up. So I just said, well, it's time to get a new one anyway.
Something's going on with this one where Kratos is really chunky in his movements. Yeah. I'll press forward and he'll go forward, but then it'll be like there's some obstacle in front of him. But really all he's doing is just stopping. It's not.
It's like a stutter step.
It's not. It's not realizing that I'm pressing forward. And if I try to run, if I can get him going with a run, then it'll hold. But sometimes it's a quick couple of steps and then he stops again, and it's like no, move this way. It's really, really, really getting on my nerves.
Yeah. You got a backup at the house, right?
I should, but it's just me playing the game, so I usually only do the one controller. But I may have another one. I don't know.
No, maybe it's conditioned to me because
already it broke when I was playing Destiny way back.
Yeah.
Before they released Destiny 2. Was that PS4? Was Destiny on PS4? Yeah. Right? I'm right on that, right? Not 2, but 1. Destiny 1 was
Destiny
on
1?
Yeah, that's PS4.
I played it on PS4.
Yeah, that's PS4. I don't know why my head's going weird with time.
Yeah. But no, I mean, what I was saying earlier about controllers is I'm so accustomed to having 2 controllers come with my console. This was one. I've always had something in my head like I need a backup. I need a spare. So whenever I see those sales on DualShock 4s, pick one up.
I may need to look into that. May need to get one myself. Just feels really weird. I may stop by. Well, I posted this on my Facebook page not too long ago. I went into Best Buy to pick up my steelbooks.
Yeah. I saw that picture.
You saw the picture.
I saw that ghost town you had left there. Yeah.
The local one in my area, which is down, it's like 5 minutes from the house, man, is closing. October 5th, they are shutting the doors and closing the store up.
Yeah.
There's this big mega store that's going to be about 20, 25 minutes away. And they're basically taking the two stores. There's one where I live, and then there's one just across the street here from where I work, which is where I got my Switch. All of those are closing, and they're moving into this big mega store down the way a bit. And I just hate that I'm losing that. So
yeah, they're going to the area where all the stores in this town are going. Apparently, everybody's trying to move out there.
Yeah. So I need a new control. And, there's always Walmart, which is right there. Target.
Yeah.
Walmart, I don't know why. Target. I don't know why I think that Best Buy is the be all end all to go to.
Walmart and Target usually one that has the sales. Them and Newegg. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I may stop and pick one up, just to have it and see. Here's the thing: if the new controller that I bought works better, then good. It replaces the old one. Mm-hmm. If it still gives me the same problem, then it's something with the game, and I'll still have a backup controller.
I'm about to say the console. Instead of the game.
I don't know if it's. I don't know. It could be with the connection, maybe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Something with the.
I'm not sure. It's a good question. Mm-hmm. But I really enjoyed God of War. Mm-hmm. Story is what it is.
That's what you play it for.
I mean, yeah, it's. In some ways I play this for the story, in some I don't. In some ways, I like the art direction. I like the way it looks. I like the way it plays. The story can be neither here nor there, for me at times. The draw that I've always had with God of War is not necessarily the hack and slashiness of it, but the battles, the fights have been just
epic battles.
They've had that epicness to it. You're fighting giants. You know what I'm saying? There's a scale that you fight on, and that has been one of the biggest calling cards of God of War. Is that
something like that in all the God of Wars? You against
always.
This giant. Yeah,
I mean, the opening fight in God of War 1 on the PlayStation 2. Was it 2 or was it 1?
I think it was 2. You had that
2.
The Colossus of something?
No. This was you were on a boat and you fought a Hydra. I mean, this giant Hydra, 3-headed thing. You had to fight that.
Yeah.
And the scale of this thing was just great. And it's it's gone through it where you're the size of a character's thumbnail. Yeah. Basically. When you're fighting some of the gods and because it's
that thing Poseidon summoned.
I mean, Poseidon was summoned. Then, of course,
see you in a boat. Yeah. Then
there was
the Colossus of Thieves, the Hydra, Poseidon summoned.
There was the
Titans.
The Titans
that you had to deal with.
Those were huge.
Yeah.
The Titans were massive.
Yeah.
And that was again. It's just I loved that I enjoyed. Not so much the story most of the time, but I did enjoy it. This story, I like it. One thing that cropped up in my playthrough just this past week was in God of War. You're on this quest with your son,
right? And
he's real young, but he's sort of learning how to hunt and to stalk and to do what he's got to do. And basically, Kratos is teaching him these things for like survival reasons and that sort of thing. Well, he gets it into his head that he's able to take care of himself. Like, I mean, it's the progression of what I would think would be of having a child. Is that they get full of themselves and they think they can do it on their own and they don't need you anymore.
Yeah.
And what I enjoyed about this was that you seem to run into that situation where me telling him to fire his arrows, which is basically a button press that I do, and that's how I control him to fire his arrows and stuff. After a while, he gets to the point where he just says whatever every time I tell him to do that. He does it, but he's like, yeah, whatever. Here you go. Fine. He gets very just sort of... It turns into a moody teenager, basically. He's like, we've been... if I stay around for a while, he's like, I'm trying not to be impatient, but can we go? Can we please go? Can we leave? I'm tired of being here. Can we keep moving? There was a point when he was really showing this off that I lost control of his actions. Like, he has two sets of arrows, one that has a freeze and one that has electricity. And I almost always keep it on electricity because that does a lot of different things. And it was switching back to the frost arrows. And I was like, nope, I want this. Nope, the frost arrows, you know. And he was just firing away, doing whatever. He was going on his own. I had no control over him. And I love the fact that they may have put that in there just as a situation of like, hey, here's what it's like having a kid who's growing up. You're going to lose control of that kid. They're going to go off and do what they want to do. You're not going to have control. And they took control away from me. He was not firing his arrow. He couldn't fire arrows because he'd already fired all the arrows before I needed him to do that. So, yeah. No. It's I have not finished the game yet. Thar66. He says they didn't finish the game yet. I have not. I've basically picked it back up, and I'll tell you where I am in the game. Well, I'll tell you this much. I just made the boat fly, so I finished that section. I was able to make the boat fly and finish that part. And if you know what I mean, that is when you, I'm trying to think. I made the boat fly. We'll leave it to that much. We'll leave it at that. That's where I'm at. In fact, I'm on chapter 12 of 17 chapters. So I did look up enough of that to know, like, where am I? Yeah. Because I really wanted to, a couple of weeks ago, I wanted to look up and be like, where am I in this thing? Am I getting close? And I was at chapter 7. I was like, oh, God, I'm not close at all. I'm nowhere near close.
Yeah, this might be a minute.
Well, I was wondering because I ran into a Valkyrie, and a Valkyrie is a very tough boss. And when
are those side missions?
Optional, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Completely, it's an optional boss you can fight if you want.
Yeah, I've seen playthroughs of the game where those can get pretty intense from what I saw. Yeah,
so
it's worth it.
Yeah, I tried to fight one, and I was level 4, and I died very fast. And so I looked up. I was like, "What about Valkyries?" And it says, "Oh, you should at least be level 6, but probably higher in your leveling to go fight them."
10.
It just said higher than 6. So
I go 10. If you can get
yeah. So when that came up, I was like, "Well, I'm only level. How many more chapters do I have?" And I realized there was a chapter 7 or so of 17. So it was a long way to go, and it's still kind of a long way to go. I feel like I'm not progressing very fast. Not necessarily in the story, but in my character itself. You know, I'm only level 5, and I just broke into level 5.
I'm trying to remember if this is kind of a story-based game, grinding for orbs and whatnot, leveling up. Is there any way you can do that? You think?
I mean, you grind for XP, so you can add to your skills.
Yeah.
But skills only unlock every time you level up, and leveling up only comes from acquiring gear that increases your stats. And that's how you level up. And you acquire gear by killing things, but killing big things and finding treasure chests. You know, and unlocking those. That's how you find other gear. But I just assumed that as I progressed through the story, I would rank up and do all these things. But apparently, no. It's more of a. And I did watch a video this afternoon about some secrets and things like that. It didn't spoil anything for me, but it did say. When it was talking about the Valkyries, it said you probably want to do this after you finish the game.
Oh, okay.
It said you probably want to go and tackle the Valkyries after you finish the game because then you'll have unlocked so many different things.
New game plus, some new things like that.
There's I don't think there's a new game plus. I think it just unlocks the world.
Okay.
For you to travel at will and go and take on these other challenges and sort of finish finding all the secrets.
Yeah, because I was thinking if you were going to go through the Valkyries in the first playthrough, I guess you have to explore every area you could in that stage where they show up or something like that.
Every Valkyrie has a, what's it called? It's a doorway.
Okay.
And I don't know how many doorways there are, probably something like 10 or 12. There's almost 10, maybe more than that. But almost every Valkyrie has a doorway that once you access a doorway, you can go to any part that has a door, basically. It's something like, it's just a teleport thing. So yeah, it's easy to get back to them and that sort of thing. So, but I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I am sort of sad to see that it's coming to an end when I get to it.
Yeah.
At the same time, I'm ready to jump into Gears of War. I'm ready to jump into Control. I'm ready to jump into some other games. Although my time is running very short because Destiny releases October 1st.
Yeah. There was something about Destiny that popped up in my mentions on PlayStation. Something about the season pass for Forsaken was free.
Yeah,
if
you buy Forsaken, you get everything free now.
Yeah.
If you buy the Forsaken expansion, which I don't know, did you ever pick that up?
I never picked it up, but I think it was $25 right now on PlayStation Store.
Yeah, I think it is
$25 right now.
Which, you pick that up, you'll have access to all the expansions.
Which is about I was about to say standard price of a season pass. Season pass is now around $30 now. Used to be like $20. Now it's somewhere in the middle, either either $25 or $30 for a standard season pass nowadays.
Yeah, I'm checking. I'm going to check now just because I'm curious. I had that issue not last week, but the week before last where my account got hacked.
Yeah.
I was able to get my account back, and immediately after I got my account back, obviously I initiated two-factor authentication. I got all this stuff done. But what I actually went and did was I had already done the transfer of linking my Steam account so that everything could switch over.
Right.
But I never initiated cross-save.
Mm-hmm.
I looked into it, but I never initiated it because I'm like, oh, there's my old characters again. I can hold off on this. And I did. I held off. Well, after that situation, no, I did not hold off anymore. I went ahead and initiated cross-save, so now my PC characters are my main. Mm-hmm. So now when I jump onto the PS4 to play, I will be playing my PC characters.
Yeah.
Let's see, PlayStation. It's PlayStation Plus, or is it just regularly on sale?
I want to say I'm a Plus member, so it would pop up regardless. But I think it was standard.
Did you see this? Full Batman Arkham Knight is the PlayStation Plus free game.
Yeah,
for this month.
Already got it though.
Yeah, I know. It's got a $99.99 price tag, but it's free. I'm guessing this comes with all of the downloads.
I guess. Never looked, like I said, never looked into it because I already got it, so not something I thought about.
I think it's everything. I think it's every single thing.
But usually when it's free like that, it's the default vanilla version of the game. The add-ons usually don't come with that.
I don't know why it's got a $100 price tag on this thing.
I don't know.
And Darksiders 3, I was surprised that is the free game. That feels like that thing just came out not too long ago. In fact, let me look. It released November 27th of 2018. So not yet a year, and here we are with that free game. So that was kind of cool.
Well, not the fastest we've seen prices drop for game titles.
This is true. Destiny 2.
I'm trying to think offhand of the fastest price drop I've seen in the game.
Destiny 2 Forsaken Complete Collection is $25.
Yeah, $25.
And the digital deluxe edition of Shadowkeep is $60. So I don't know what I'll do. I'll probably wait for that to drop in price.
Yeah.
Look at that. Thar got a Genesis Mini.
Yep.
That's good. Good one there, Thar. RJ brought his. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Mm-hmm. And Thar says Gears is awesome and looks incredible, and parts on the One X just incredible. Yeah, exactly. See, here's the thing. May of 2018 when I was playing God of War, February of 2018 when I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, even September of 2018 when I was playing Spider-Man, even October of 2018 when I was playing Red Dead 2 on my Xbox.
When you stood in line for,
right?
With that chili,
just so I could get that, just so I could get a stupid steelbook.
Yeah.
All of those games were played on a 1080p HD screen, using a PS4 Pro and an Xbox One X, which are really designed for better screens than that. November of 2018, I finally get my first 4K television.
Yeah.
Spider-Man looks unbelievable, but that's, great. It looked great. I put in God of War, and that thing blows me away with how just amazingly how well it's done. Put Spider-Man to shame, honestly, as far as the looks go.
Yeah.
The HDR is just unreal, and the oh god, it's beautiful, beautiful. I haven't tried Horizon. I played Gears, but I only played the tutorial section. I haven't done much of it, but it's been, yeah, it looks great. It's just, I'm excited to play more. Anyway, we're about to take our next break. When we come back, we will talk to RJ about what he's played. We will talk to him about that Genesis Mini. Is that what was in that box there?
Yeah.
That you brought? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I almost picked one up. In fact, the thing is that I ordered one through Best Buy for store pickup at my store where I live, and on the day they were all cool with it. On the website, it's like, hey, sure, it's not yet ready, but it'll be ready on release day. And then release day comes, and it's like, hey, we don't have this at your store. We're going to keep trying to find it, but you may want to log in and switch your pickup location. And I said, oh, okay. So, yeah. Anyway, we are featuring the music of Stuart Chatwood, and here is the one game that we're gonna play music from that is not Prince of Persia related at all. He did this game back in 2016. It was his last video game release so far, and it is the main theme music from a game called Darkest Dungeon. We'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. Welcome back to It Game Chat. Music here from another Prince of Persia game. Actually, this is another track off the Prince of Persia 2008 game. The kind of, I don't know, reboot, redirection. I don't know what they wanted to call that. They never touched it after they did it that one time. Never went back to it. Which is a shame. I liked it. This is called Entering the Canyon by Stuart Chatwood. You're going to hear some real big differences in the Prince of Persia. I know right now it's getting that whole Arabian thing to it with the music and everything. It's very strange. And it's turns out it's the last track that'll play today, so it'll play when we're, packing up and getting out of here. Prince of Persia Sands of Time releases. It's a big hit. People love it. It's a great game. Mm-hmm. Music's fantastic. Well, they're going to make a sequel, and they call it Prince of Persia Warrior Within. And it is the try-hardiest, edgy thing you've ever seen. Right down to the music. It's all bathed in black and red, and just trying to be this, like, oh, yeah, I'm a, wow, God, it's hard. Oh, yeah. I always forget about the video. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Thar. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just, it's horrible. I don't know how well the game was, but I know the music was. I'm sorry, Stuart. I know we're featuring you, but but the music for Warrior Within was complete trash. I'm not kidding. I mean, they abandoned the whole Arabian aspect, and it is nothing but hard guitars and drums.
Yeah.
That's it. It's this very, like, brooding... I mean, composed by Limp Bizkit would be the same way to put it. It feels like it's from that era. It's trying to evoke that era.
Yeah.
And it's just trying to be, just horrible. So, normally I don't like to talk bad about, who we're featuring ever, really, or anybody. I don't like to talk bad about the composers. We love video game composers. However, that piece of music was probably something that he was instructed to do, not of his own volition. Probably something they said, we're going for an edgy feel. Can we get guitars? And can we get can you make it sound like this?
Get something that the kids listen to nowadays.
Right.
That type of thing, yeah.
We got to go with the flow. We got to do this. And it was horrible. By the time they came back for the third sequel in that whole trilogy, it was Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones, which is the next track that we're going to play when we go out to commercial on this segment here. Anyway, welcome back to the show. It's just me and RJ today.
Yep.
And RJ is going to talk to us about what he has played and what he has bought.
Yeah, for the most part, I was playing the Golf Club 2019. I was trying to get back into that and trying to get some consistency going on my golf game.
I have that now on Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah.
So it's on the Xbox Game Pass. So I have it for free now.
Yeah, really good golf game. I was having a good time with it. One thing I've noticed is that the same thing is applying. My driving is no problem. I got no issue with that. It's the short game that kills me. It's just being consistent on that. But then again, on driving, you don't have a lot to think about. All you got to worry about is accuracy. Put the ball where you want it to. Unfortunately, when you hit the ball in the fairway or the rough, sometimes you got to think about wind and ball placement and the angle of the ground that the ball sits on.
I mean, it's a golf simulator.
It's a golf simulator. Yeah. So it's just being consistent. The thing about it is that you have this in the interface with the game. You have this accuracy meter in the middle of your swing path for your club, and the way the analog is set up, it always went outside of the accuracy range for me. So what I had to do is I had to hold the controller a certain way. I had to tilt it because the way your thumb naturally swings in a curved angle on an analog stick, it's not going to go straight up and down. So I had to tilt mine and then put my thumb in a certain way to get consistent accuracy in my shots. So I had to do that to get some hope of getting near the green where I want the ball to go. And then, of course, putting, which is really giving me an issue right now because it's all about feel in that game, and the tutorial tells you so. It's all about feel. Like if I have a putt from 10 feet away, okay, I got to pull back the analog stick to just the right distance and then push forward completely to get a accurate shot. Well, sometimes I've been pulling the stick back too far because I'm overthinking how far I have to pull the putter back and pull through. So I end up hitting the ball like maybe 25 feet instead of 10 that I need.
Instead of the 10 that you needed, just way overcompensating?
Yeah, so if I mess around and miss that shot, now I got instead of a 10-foot putt, now I got a 15-foot to make up for bogey or double bogey in my case sometimes. So yeah, it's just a matter of practicing and being consistent with it. That's all. And but I'm having a good time doing it, so I'll just go from there.
There was another game. I want to say I don't know what it's out for. Let me look this up. I think it's called What the Golf.
I've heard of Everyday Golf. I haven't heard of the
right.
What the Golf,
What the Golf is on Windows and it's also on Switch. It's coming out on the Switch. I think it's what is that? What is it? The anti-golf game for people who hate golf. So that's what that is. Oh, okay. I see. All right. Interesting. So
yeah.
Anyway, not a game. It's not a game for you.
No, if you want serious golf, it's not the game for you. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah, I played some Street Fighter V. Got back into that a little bit. Played a little bit, but for the most part, I was watching replays because they still save the replays of all the online matches that go on throughout the day. And I was looking for some tips and tricks to deal with, get some matchup knowledge for a certain character I use. Nash.
Did you see that link that Jeremy posted? And it made the rounds in my newsfeed today about how the classic Street Fighter II, the CPU, how it cheated.
Yeah, it's typical Turn the difficulty up on turn the difficulty up, and you'll see how bad the game cheats.
Yeah, exploits completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But yeah, did that. I've also played a little bit of Destiny 2. Tried to see what those any perks that came up over the every week, because it resets every week, and got a few Ingrams out of that. Also forced myself to play a Crucible match, because play one Crucible match, you get yourself an Ingram. So I just did that for the like of it, and I still don't like Crucible. I really do not like Crucible, man. It's like 2 shots and I'm gone. Meanwhile, I'm trying to put every bullet I can in an opponent. I'm not getting any results. So it was just let me slog through here, get as much as I can, and try to get what I need at the end. And other than that, I played a little bit of the item I purchased, the Genesis Mini. I picked up. Played a few games on that as well. I played the first game I played on here was Eternal Champions. So I played a good bit of that. The emulation is perfect because it still cheats, just like we mentioned in Street Fighter. If for those of you not familiar, Eternal Champions is a fighting game where your special moves are determined by how much spirit energy you have. Well, when you run out of spirit energy, you can't do your special moves. You have to do your normal attacks. On the other hand, the computer can have absolutely no spirit meter and can keep doing their special moves. They forgot to put that limitation on the computer. So it's emulated perfectly because the computer still does that to this day on this thing. Played a little bit of a Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition on here. Had a good time with that. More cheating, like the post that Jeremy put on there. We can explain that a little later. Also played a little Road Rash 2 on the Genesis Mini as well. The control was not as tight on that, because I think what happened was I was used to playing Road Rash on the Sega Saturn, the one with the FMV on it. And it was really tight controls on there. So I was probably thinking about that while playing this, and realized that, I would rather play this on the Saturn than anything else. But yeah, 42 games to pick from on there. And it's a really has a really nice roster to select from. But the thing about the mini consoles is that what we're looking for is the hack and the crack on there to get more emulated games on there.
And they've already found that, right?
Yeah, from what I hear, people have already found ways to do it so far. So we'll probably hear something a little later on down the line about what to do with it. But other than that, that's pretty much all I've been getting with on that.
I did not realize that. I didn't realize that PlayStation controllers were marked down as much as they were.
PlayStation
4 controllers.
What, they're $40?
$45, yeah.
Yeah. The good sales, you hit it for like $40. But for some reason, it was like for only certain color schemes. Like Target would have the gold and the green camouflage is $40, and then everything else was regular price. So certain colors would be on sale, and others not so much. Yeah.
I'm curious if I can. Yeah, I can't. I can't pick it up at my. Can't pick it up in my store. I can't pick it up in any store.
What?
As far as Best Buy is concerned.
Oh, no.
No, I can't pick it up at any store. Not until October the 2nd. Buy it now and it'll be ready at that store. Oh, man. Actually, this goes for a lot of stores. Except for one in Columbus. It'll be ready in an hour if I order it now. I mean, every store. If I go My Home here, Auburn, Hoover, Birmingham, October 2nd. Nobody's got these in, apparently.
No controller swing.
Apparently not. Let me see if I can get one. I wonder if the red one, because I got the black one because it's 43. But what if I pick up the red one and see if that changes anything?
Just the colors that don't sell, that's the one they just put on sale then.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, the red one's down to $45. And that one is available at the store just down the road here. So I may go by there and pick it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We shall see. So, yeah, the Genesis Mini, you say they've already cracked it there, right?
Yeah, I was reading where they've already got things cracked and they're working on it right now.
I'm curious as to how much can be put on there.
Yeah.
I was able to put some Genesis games onto one of the SNES Minis.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how that'll all work itself out.
Yeah, I think the only gripe that some people have had about it is the comparison between the Genesis Mini and the Sega Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I think because the Sega Genesis Mini has 42 games on there, and if I'm not mistaken, after unlocking everything, I think the Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection has a little over 50. But some games that are on the Genesis Collection aren't on the Genesis Mini. So, like Alien Storm is on the Genesis Collection, but it's not on the Genesis Mini. But the Genesis Mini has Alicia Dragoon, which is a title I haven't thought about in a long time, but it was something I wanted to try out.
They've got the pros. Some games are on here that are not on this one. Some games are on this one that are not on the other one.
Yeah.
No, I get that. The Genesis Mini, the whole thing about that was the fact that it's a silly thing and probably pointless. But if you change the language of the system,
you get the alternate cover art and alternate
alternate game
alternate
too.
game, yeah.
So if there were parts of the game that they had taken out in Japan for American audiences,
right,
then just switch your language and there they are again.
Yeah, right there it is. Yeah.
But almost pointless, as well as now even that would be as well as the cover art for the game, being completely different.
Right.
They didn't have to do any of that, but they did it. And then there's the whole thing where you can look at it by the spine view, which is another way to look at the games set up there. Again, totally pointless, has no bearing on anything.
Yeah.
But they put it in there. So
you say pointless, but it is kind of the nostalgia factor. The accessories we talked about before the show started, the Tower of Power, the accessories you put on here, basically a mini version of the Mega CD, version 1 Mega CD that stacks under the Genesis Mini, a Mini 32X that stacks in the cartridge slot, which opens up on the Genesis Mini. And then you have the lock-on technology of the Sonic and Knuckles game that goes in the slot, and then you put a mini version of the Sonic the Hedgehog disc in that. So when it's all said and done, you have this long stack of Sega memorabilia sitting on top of your table or whatever.
And you being the massive Sega fan that you are, this works out very well for you.
If I could pick it up, like I said, this thing's only sold in the accessory part that I was talking about. They said it was only sold in Japan for about $60. So it'd probably be sort of pick up later on, maybe. Yeah. For nostalgia purposes.
Like I said, I put in the order, but it's not available there. If it happens to come in, I will get it. If it doesn't, and it's one of those things where Best Buy says, "Hey, we can't put the order here."
Yeah.
You can either choose to just cancel the purchase, or we'll move it to a place where you can.
Yeah.
I will probably cancel the purchase. I will hold off, and I will pick it up when we've hit that point where buying things right now, game wise and other, it's kind of like, let's put that on hold for a bit.
Yeah.
Because Black Friday's coming around, this thing's going to be cheaper.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that not only will that Sega Genesis Mini kind of drop in price a little bit just for a sale, but I know Forsaken on PS4 right now is $25, but I got a feeling that'll drop even lower come then.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't apply for me where Destiny 2 is concerned, because that comes out October 1st, and I want to be there day one with it.
Yeah.
That doesn't apply to anybody else. Like, if you want to be there day one, you're going to pay it.
You're going to get it, yeah.
If you can wait and don't have to be there day one, you're going to be able to save some money because, I mean, seriously, we're in the middle of it right now. Don't buy electronics. Don't. They're going on sale. There's a very good chance that they will go on sale. This does not apply if it's like collector's edition type stuff. I should really not be buying any steelbooks. But I'm also scared of how fast these things can sell out and not be able to get one.
You mess around, see it on eBay for a much higher price later on. Yeah.
So I hold off in places, in some situations. That's another reason. Now, the difference being is that Link's Awakening on the Nintendo Switch, Nintendo games never go on sale. They do, but Nintendo hardly ever puts their own games on sale. Their first-party titles rarely get a sale. Rarely do they get a sale. After about a year, they might drop the price by like $10 and say, "Here's the new price for this game." But they rarely put their stuff on sale. So, just gonna hold off for a bit. That's kind of why I'm waiting on Control. I can probably get that at a cheaper price. Come Black Friday.
Yeah, I think we've talked about it before, how certain titles you don't really have to be there day one. You can wait a little bit.
Control, I think, is that title, because there is no multiplayer aspect to it that I know of for Control.
Right.
So that's a game I feel like I can hold off on that.
Yeah. By the time you pick it up, they probably release some Game of the Year edition.
The other thing is that I'm in that Xbox Games Pass, so I mean, I don't have to worry about Gears 5 going down in price. I have it. I can play it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to worry about these other games getting drops in prices. I have them. I can play them through the Game Pass. I was nice to see that EA Access is now. Thanks. EA Access is now on PlayStation. I don't have EA Access, but it's now on PlayStation.
Right.
Somebody logged into my EA account, by the way. I got a note. I got a note saying that somebody from Russia had logged into my EA account, and I went ahead and logged in, changed my password. I have two-factor authentication for that, but apparently not if you sign in through the website.
Oh.
If you go in through the website, two-factor authentication does not apply. It applies on the Origin client, but not if you sign in through the website. So it was very... Yeah, I didn't like that. We got a caller. Hey, you're on in-game chat. Who's this?
Hey, it's Jesse.
Jesse, what's going on?
Hey, man. Listen, I was listening to you guys earlier talking about not buying electronics. I am on my way. Like, I have not bought a console since like PS2, and I'm literally on my way to buy a PS4 Pro. And I was just wondering, is like that? You guys think that's a good idea?
No, I think you should hold off. I hate to say that because you're probably dying to play something, and that's why you want to go do it. But but if you don't, if that doesn't concern you, now if it doesn't concern you that you might be able to get it cheaper come Black Friday, November, stuff like that, then by all means go do your thing, get the system. But if you would like to save, possibly, now here's the way it may work. The price of it may not go down, but there may be bundles that are included. So for what you pay for it now, you could pay the same thing, but also get a couple of games thrown in with it. They may not be games that you want, but it's still a value, and you would get those games. I don't know how it's going to pan out, and how that's going to work. It's a little too early for us to start throwing that out there yet. Plus, the whole Black Friday sales stuff, Thanksgiving and everything for November this year hits way into the end of November. On the 28th, basically, which means Black Friday is going to be on the 29th. And so
normally I don't like to participate in Black Friday. I think it's just too much craziness,
Well, I mean, you'll have options though. It won't necessarily be just in store. You can purchase it online, then go pick it up whenever you want to, or you can order it off of Amazon and do it if that's the case.
That's true.
Yeah, there's ways to go about it, but to still keep you out of those Black Friday sales. I can tell you now, from what I understand, just looking at the history of sales like this, the consoles are not going to be doorbusters, which means the consoles are not going to be something that are going to be so cheap that you have to be there at 5 o'clock on Thanksgiving afternoon in order to take advantage of whatever the deal is. I don't know that they've ever had doorbusters on those consoles. Doorbusters being the items that are limited supply, get there early to get your hands on them.
Yeah.
Consoles have never had that issue. So you would be able to go out on Friday afternoon, or even that weekend. Normally the sales extend from that Thursday through usually that Saturday, Sunday, something like that. So it can still keep you out of the stores. I'm just trying to save you some money or maybe get you some extra value out of it.
I think that's awesome, man. Okay. Additional question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you think, obviously it's like a individual preference kind of thing, but if it were you and it was this late in the game and you had not purchased any PS4 whatsoever, would you wait on the 5?
Would I wait on the?
we're talking about a year.
Would I wait on the 5? No,
yes.
no, I wouldn't wait on the 5.
That's a long time.
Well, first off, it's a long time, and there is no date set in stone for this. There is no reveal set in stone. Microsoft has talked about their project, whatever it is, and I can't remember what the project was, but they're working on. Microsoft has talked about, yes, we're working on our next console. Sony has said nothing. There's been There's been some trademarks and things like that, some patents that we've seen come through, maybe dev kits, that sort of thing. But we've seen and heard nothing from Sony. We likely won't until E3 of next year. Maybe they didn't attend E3 this year, so who knows if we're going to hear it in that aspect. We don't know. So they've made no promise that next year is when you're gonna get the next console. Not only that, you don't know if it's going to be able to play some of the games that came out for this generation of consoles. Will it still be able to play Spider-Man? I don't know what games you're looking to play.
Right.
You want a PS4 because you want to play a game, I assume. What's the games that you want to play?
Well, I'm a huge anime nerd, so I want to play in Jump Force, the new Naruto game, and I'm also looking into the very first couple of games. Is going to be the new God of War and Sekiro.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So here's the thing: God of War, you'll be able to pick up on the cheap. Again, this is I go back to this and say, hey, hold out, man. Sekiro will probably be discounted for Black Friday, so don't pick that up today. Your PS4 Pro, man, it might see a $50 discount. At best, you will see just a bundle. I don't know what kind of bundle will be in it, but you'll see some kind of bundle for the same price that you would pay for now. I don't know. I don't know. You're not going to see a big $100 discount, but you might. I really don't know. It could. The Pro's been out for a while now, and I think last year it did have a discount of maybe $50. I'd really have to go back and look in my.
It sounds like the typical range for a discount on Black Friday. I mean, $50 or so.
I could look at my BF ads for 2018. Hang on just a second. I'm doing this. I'm going to do this on the air because this is exactly what I do at home. I get deep into this stuff.
By the way, Sekiro is Sekiro's on PlayStation Store for like $45 right now. Drop from 60 to 45.
To 45? No, it'll go. It'll
go down lower than that. Probably around the 30 to $40 range around Black Friday.
Yeah,
they would sell on it.
It definitely will. Let's see if I can find something here. I'm trying to see here. The Xbox One X was $399. That was down $100, so they dropped $100 off of that.
Wow.
They also offered this was Walmart. They offered a $70 discount on any and all in stock Xbox One X bundles. And they also slashed the price of the Xbox One S. Kohl's did a thing for X. I'm seeing a lot of Xbox. I'm not seeing any PS4 deals here. But it's hard to find. Honestly, it's hard to find the deals from a year ago, which is weird to say. But yeah, it's kind of because we're in the 2019 year. We're in that window. Let me see if I do a different one. PS4 Pro. Black Friday 2018. Let's see if I came up with something. Okay. Here's what I got on this one. And yeah, we're doing this. I don't care that I'm doing this. I love doing price shopping and stuff like this. I do. I live for this. I do it all the time. Let's see. PlayStation 4 Pro 1 terabyte with Red Dead Redemption 2 and a $50 gift card for $400. Do you know what you would be paying for the Pro right now as you go out to get it?
I'm pretty sure tax and all should be around $440 somewhere.
Okay, yeah. So with this, you're not getting a game with whatever you would be buying today, and you're not getting a gift card. So with this deal from last year, you got a game which had just released in October at that time, Red Dead Redemption 2.
A very good game, by the way.
Yeah, and so a $60 value there, plus a $50, so $110 extra you were getting back. So basically, you were getting the system for, I don't know, about $300 if you want to count that money that you got extra from that.
Yeah.
That game's also on the list, by the way.
You'll get it cheap.
What about this? And this is. Yeah, I'm not asking for life advice here. I'm just saying, do you think that if I say I went out and got the console today, do you think I could get those games individually on sale on Black Friday?
Yeah, should
Or do
be.
you think it'd just be like a bundle deal?
No, I mean, if you got the console those games, I don't necessarily know those games are going to be on sale for Black Friday, but
Right.
you've got a better chance. That's your best chance of any other chance of those being on sale. I don't necessarily know that Sekiro will be down any other price, but it's likely. I know something like Control will be discounted. Red Dead Redemption 2 will probably have a discount. That's still in the minds of people. God of War is already down pretty cheap. I don't know that it's going to go any further.
$20.
I think it's like 20.
I think I picked mine up for $20.
Yeah, I think it's like 20. Yeah. You may see it on sale again where it's like, oh, here it is. See, it didn't release any DLC or anything, so it's just that game, so you get it for 20. Horizon Zero Dawn, which had a bunch of DLC with it, that's already moved into the greatest hits stuff, so it's already as low as it's going to be at $19.
Yeah.
Games, what you were looking at Sekiro? Yeah, Sekiro we're not sure of.
Sekiro was like $45 right now digitally, yeah.
But it'll probably be cheaper than that. It'll probably go down to $30.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yes.
I don't know what other games
like,
you're looking for, but Red Dead Redemption, I don't know what it sits at right now, but it'll probably be down to 30 or less for you to purchase over the holiday. Yeah. So
it's like real popular titles are just things they're trying to move real quickly.
Like I said,
drop the price on around Black Friday.
If you can hold off, man, if you can hold off on buying the console and those games, hold off for another month. Well, basically at this point another 2 months. But I mean, if you can't, you just got to get into it, then that's fine too. You know, you do whatever you need to do with it. But I know for me, I try as best I can to not dip into anything that isn't necessary. Like Destiny 2 is a different thing. Their expansion launches on October 1st. I bet it'll have a Black Friday discount come November 29th. But I can't wait that long with my clan and everybody else that I play with. No, I got to have it day one. But let's look at a game like Control that came out back in August when I went out to Seattle. I still don't own the game. There is no multiplayer tied into it. I'm not missing out on anything by holding off until November to see if it drops in price.
Right.
So why pick it up now when I could wait and get it cheaper later? So that's just my thing. It's completely up to you with what to do with it. But let us know what you decide to do. I don't know if you've made your decision yet, but let us know.
I think I have. I think I've just I've decided to go ahead and get the console, and then just like maybe one cheap game to get me through, and then maybe I can play it, and then that way by the time maybe I'm done with it, I'll Black Friday will have rolled around, and I can get some of those games discounted.
That's perfectly fine. Again, I don't know what kind of deals we're going to see this year for that console. It's been out. It's been out for a while now, so I don't know how. I remember the first year it released, and Black Friday rolled around, and it got nothing. There was no discount on it.
Yeah.
It just did not budge from that price. It was so new, and it was also so, I don't want to say elite, but it was so niche, I guess. It kind of had a target of, it's probably not for you. Have you upgraded your TV? Well, then it's probably not for you. You can hold off. Are you still playing in regular 1080p HD? Then this is not a thing.
You're not going to get all the benefits on it. Yeah, you're not going to get all the benefits yet. So yeah.
But if you did have a 4K TV, it's like, well, then think about it. With me, I took in I think it was GameStop. They were having a deal where if you brought in your old PlayStation system, you got double rewards back if you were a member of something and blah, blah, blah. I ended up only paying that with my trade-in. I ended up only paying, I think, $50 or $60 to actually get the system.
Yeah. And 4K TVs ain't that
you buy a TV today, you're getting a 4K TV.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's not too expensive now, so yeah.
Do you have a 4K set, dude?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And see, I've been back and forth on whether or not to get the Pro or not. And I've heard, if you got a 4K TV, go ahead and get the Pro.
Is this a decision that you're making over an Xbox One X or no?
Honestly, man, I have never, and I know I may make, I've never been an Xbox fan at all.
That's fine.
That's fine.
No, dude, there's no judgment here. You're perfectly fine not being an Xbox fan.
A lot of folks got both.
Yeah, you're
both
perfectly
systems,
fine not being an Xbox fan. That's totally fine.
I've never liked the controllers. Other than that, that's it. I mean, and I know that's kind of a weird thing, but I just don't like the way they fit in my hand, and the buttons, I think, are just, I don't know. I've always been a PlayStation person.
Dude, it's totally fine.
Yeah. We've always said here about the console preference. Look, it's not about the console, it's about the games on that thing. That's what you're getting for. Sometimes you get on one, you can't get on the other.
Yeah.
And I think there are alternative controls for the Xbox One, isn't it? Like a slimmer version or a smaller version or a compact one. Didn't they do that for the original Xbox?
Yes.
Because I remember the original Xbox, that controller was a monster. The default controller was a monster, and they had to make that slim version.
Yeah. I only brought that up because I know there's been some differences in opinion. I have both systems. So when a multi-platform title like Control releases where it's on both systems, and they do that whole there's a website in there, Digital Foundry, I believe is the name of them, where they do these really good comparisons between this console version and this console version. And when it comes to 4K type stuff, almost always, apparently Xbox is coming out on top. Whenever it does the 4K comparisons. Now, trust me, I'm not saying that you're going to see, look, God of War is the most beautiful thing I've seen on my system yet, and that's on a PS4. I have not played Gears on my Xbox One X. I haven't even played Red Dead.
You play on a PS4 Pro, right?
On a Pro, yeah. And God of War is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Spider-Man was up there, but when I put in God of War, that was just blew me away.
That took the top spot right there.
Oh, my God. It is just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in 4K. And, obviously we have nothing to compare that to because it's not out on the Xbox One, but I'm saying this without having played Red Dead, without having played Gears on the Xbox One X to tell you one's better than the other. I think there's a certain point that you're making minimal comparisons to where likely in all the action and everything you're doing with your game, your eye is never going to notice the difference. There are some issues, I can tell you that some of these multi-platform games have had some issues where the developers have had to patch them out later. But again, when everybody's running at the top of their game, you can't tell the difference really. It looks too good. So you'll be fine with the PS4 Pro, man. You will be absolutely enjoyable with the PS4 Pro. You've got tons of games to pick from, by the way, that are at a low cost. If is this your first PS4?
Yeah, man. I'm just now getting back into wanting to play some games. And,
that's fine. You've got a ton to pick through, man. You got Red Dead. You've got Uncharted 4. You've got the Uncharted Lost Legacy or whatever it was that came out after that. You have got God of War, like we talked about.
Which is like, you said, $20.
If you played it on the PS3, I would suggest not skipping the Shadow of the Colossus remake because it is beautiful on the PS4. What else is out there? I mean, there's tons.
Well, we mentioned Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition.
Yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn is fantastic. Again, cheap. You will pick that up on the cheap. You want to go for Assassin's Creed from the Assassin's Creed Odyssey or whatever it was? Not Odyssey, but Origins.
Origins, yeah.
Going to be cheap for you. Going to be real cheap to get the entire thing with all the DLC. Spider-Man is out there. Again, cheap with all the DLC. And this is if you hold out. This is even more so if you hold out until Black Friday. You're going to have a wealth of games to choose from at really great prices. So
is Dark Souls on PS4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you get that on PS4?
I think the whole thing, right?
There's a Dark Souls collection on PS4 right now.
So you can get all of them. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, and speaking of
I've never played any of them, so
well, in for it. Fun time.
Well,
if you like the difficulty,
I mean,
he's
looking to go get Sekiro. So
Sekiro I think is the hardest of the bunch.
Yeah, I know. You're still ready to jump into Dark Souls territory, so go ahead.
That and Bloodborne is also on.
Bloodborne,
it's also for cheap now. Bloodborne is also cheap, which is a game I got to finish. By the way, I have to finish the DLC for that I picked up.
Yeah.
Speaking of a Sekiro-esque type game, have you guys heard anything about the Ghost of Tsushima game?
Ghost of Tsushima?
That was revealed at E3, but they haven't talked They haven't said
talked
anything
a lot.
more about it.
Yeah, they haven't talked a lot about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, don't know. I say don't know any more about that. That was revealed at the that was at Xbox's or Microsoft's E3 reveal, I believe,
so,
wasn't
yeah.
it?
I
Because
think
Sony
so.
didn't have one,
Yeah.
so I think it was at Microsoft's. But haven't heard anything more about that.
Okay. I just
So-
want to check. I figured you guys would know before I would.
Well, I tell you what, go get your system, go home and play it with whatever game you decide to pick up, and then call us back next week and tell us how you like it.
Man, will do. Thank you guys for all the help. I love the show, and keep it up.
All right, dude.
Thanks,
Take
Al.
care.
All right, man.
Bye. No. What did we forget? He's still listening. What did we forget to tell him?
Last of Us.
Well, Last of Us, yes.
Yeah, Last of Us.
I mean,
is a
Last of
good
Us
one.
2 is being is going to be promoted here pretty soon with
Yeah.
something they're doing over in Paris, I think, or something. I don't know. There's going to
Yeah.
be some gameplay reveal. I don't think it's coming out until obviously 2020
Yeah.
at some point, and you'll see a massive disc. The fact that it's not on there, has it ever been free on PlayStation Plus? Oh, by the way,
I want to say yes.
with your new PS4,
Yeah.
go ahead and your PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Go ahead and subscribe to PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
That gives you 2 free games every month. Mm-hmm. Used to give you a lot more, but it's 2 free games every month. A year's subscription is $60.
$60. And sometimes you catch them on sale for like
Yeah.
40, 45, something like that. And you need in some games for online play, if you're online multiplayer, if you're into that, it's going to require a PlayStation Plus account. So
Yeah.
it's best to invest in one now.
The other thing I forgot is that sometimes they include that in the Black Friday bundles with the consoles.
Yeah.
So, again, something if you want to think about waiting, I don't know. Probably not. It's hard. It's hard to wait. You were driving to the store to go get your console. Mm-hmm. There's likely nothing I could have said to make you turn around, other than the fact that I knew for a fact it was going, and I don't.
Yeah.
So, you're fine. You're fine. But I was just thinking, oh, well, we got to, okay.
Yep, we gotta-
We'll take this
we
call, and then we got to take a break. Hi, you're on In-Game Chat. Who's this?
Hey, this is Chris again.
Hey, man, we
man.
gotta take. We're way over. I didn't pay
Yeah,
attention to the
I'll
time.
hang on. I wanted to talk more about the last caller and some more recommendations, since he likes the hard role-playing game. So I'll hold on.
For PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if you like the Final Fantasy VII, the remake that's coming next year is a good one, and and I think it was leaked that The Last of Us 2 may be in this February, but
Yeah, late February, early March of next year is what we're thinking.
But there's tons out there. Do some research, look around, check out used game stores. There's plenty to pick from, like y'all have been saying.
Yeah. Okay, Chris. Well, I'm going to let you go because we do need to get some other stuff, but we got to take a break.
That's fine. I'll talk to y'all later then.
All right, dude.
Okay.
Thanks for those links, by the
There
way.
you
Oh, you're welcome.
All right.
Bye.
Okay, got to take a break. Stuart Chatwood, again, guy that does all the Prince of Persia games. This is Prince of Persia, The Two Thrones. This was the third in the Prince of Persia trilogy. It was Sands of Time. Then it was Warrior Within, or Edge Man. And then it was The Two Thrones, which kind of brought it back to not necessarily its roots, but was like, okay, let's stop with this edgy gimmick and get on with it. So we'll be back with more in-game chat right after this. And welcome back to In-Game Chat. Our feature composer is Stuart Chatwood, who did not do this music, oddly enough. But it does come from that one-off Prince of Persia game called Forgotten Sands. It was a game developed and I guess released in tandem with the film, the Prince of Persia movie that came out. So it shares a lot of aspects of that. The character design looks the same as what that they did in the film. So basically, it's a movie tie-in type of thing, which was easy for them to do. It's just Prince of Persia. Let's just do one, and we're good to go. So, and that's what they did. But Stuart Chatwood did not do the music for that game. I included it just because I have so many Prince of Persia games in this. Warrior Within is the next one. It's the worst of the bunch. It really is. It's horrible. Sorry.
One of them games you try to forget, but
I'm not even talking about the games. I'm talking about the music.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad. So we wish that guy well in his new PS4 Pro endeavors.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat room's throwing up things.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy, well, that's Lethal Migraine. Final Fantasy 7 wasn't any good, and the remake isn't anything like it, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
And it's episodic.
Oh, yeah. Yakuza, Neo, The Surge. The Surge, surprisingly, kind of flew under the radar, I think, because a lot of people had fun with that.
Yeah.
Well. Yeah. He's got a lot to pick from. When you're late, when you get a system late in the game, you got so much to pick from.
It's nice. It's nice to have.
It's a nice thing to have.
It really is nice to have. It was nice for me to come back and play God of War, and, of course, you know my thing on that was that God of War released, and I go in and I get the big special edition thing with the statue and everything else.
Yeah.
Paid whatever it was. I mean, maybe 6 months later, that edition was down to the regular price of the game, or had a 1 day sale.
Yeah.
Where it was like $60. And I was like, man, I could have went. So it's one of those things where, yeah, it's completely up. Detroit is another one I picked up. $20.
Haven't started yet. Man, I really should have waited on that one.
Right.
I'll sooner play Heavy Rain first than Detroit at this point. Yeah.
We got 3 stacks of news here. News from 3 weeks ago, news from last week, and then news from 2 weeks ago, and then news from this past week.
So we got some quick hits.
I would love to go through and give you some quick hits. I just don't know what they are. I will tell you, since we're on the topic of savings, if you've got a PC with the Epic Game Store client, log into that thing and get you 6 free Batman games. You will get Batman Arkham Asylum, Batman Arkham City, and Batman Arkham Knight. Then you will get the 3 Lego Batman games as well. So 6 Batman games, no cost at all, completely free. So yeah, just something to throw out there so that you...
if you never had a chance to play them, get it now.
Yeah, really. I know. What else is there to... I mean, there's plenty to say. I just don't know that we can say it in the Rockstar Games made a game launcher for PC.
Oh, that's right, they did. Yeah.
They made their own... okay, that's fine.
They're offering Grand Theft Auto San Andreas for free.
Yeah.
If you get their
on the PC,
their launcher, yeah.
Which is what I did. I downloaded the launcher, I activated it, got my free game.
Yep.
Am I going to play it? Not a chance.
Probably not.
But I got it.
Well, I'll say this: no time soon.
It's really weird, the allure of a free game that you're not going to play.
Yeah. There's been plenty of titles from being a PlayStation Plus member for so long, I've gotten that later on I look into my library like, wait, when did I get this? Oh, it was free. That's why. Yeah. Never played it, but I got it. Better to get it and not play it than have the opportunity to get it and never and miss out on it. That's probably what it is.
I hate the fact that these Batman... Anytime there's a Batman bundle, they never include Origins. They never include Origins.
Yeah.
It is always the Rocksteady games. They leave that little Warner Brothers Montreal dev team out of it. And I hate that because Origins is a great game. It is a perfect... it's not a perfect game, but it can perfectly stand with those Rocksteady games, with those Arkham titles.
Yeah.
Easily. So, yeah, I don't know why they always do that, but they do. Yeah, I'm anxious to hear how it goes for him in getting his PS4 Pro. Again, play it on a 4K set. It's just beautiful. So, Yeah, there's a lot of news here that we left off and didn't even get to. There's a new Total War game for Troy that comes out next year. We talked about that. We found out how much that Epic Games Store exclusivity costs. Epic, how much they paid to get the Control game for free, or not for free, but for exclusive on PC.
On their launcher, yeah.
Yeah. What else was in there? We had plenty. League of Legends news. Next year's E3, possibly how that changes, which looks like crap.
It's been going downhill ever since, hasn't it?
Borderlands 3 is breaking records on PC.
Yep.
What else do we have? The Video Game Awards back in December. We got a new Resident Evil game, Project Resistance, that we never even talked about. That was from 2 weeks ago.
Looks like a remake of Outbreak.
Well, it's just basically a multiplayer game where there's 4 people trying to get through. One player is the enemy and 4 people are the people that he's either trying to kill or they're trying to,
Oh, yeah, like Friday the 13th?
Well, Friday the 13th or that other one, Dead by Daylight, I think, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Which was free a while back, and I don't know when I picked it up, but yeah.
Perfect little game, by the way. I've seen plenty of videos on it and how it's played, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah. But with the Resident Evil game, the first thing I thought about was Outbreak. Multiple characters, use their talents and skills to get to the goal, basically. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't think there was an element of one person controlling the enemy in that one. I don't think there was. But yeah.
Well, one person sets the traps in the rooms and everything else, and then I don't know. I think they do have the ability to become a very overpowered character to take them on as a last resort or at any time in the game. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So, see if Fuble plays it, says the Deathstroke fight QTE sucked. I still love the Deathstroke fight. I'm a fan of QTEs. I've never had a problem with QTEs. I actually enjoy QTEs. Yeah. That's why Asura's Wrath is one of my favorite games, because it is almost nothing but QTE.
Shenmue.
And Shenmue is one. Shenmue, yeah. There's a couple of others that are QTE focused, and I actually love QTE games. Mm-hmm. They do not bother me at all. So the Deathstroke fight having QTEs, and it was fine. But outside of the QTEs, it still felt like it set itself apart from the other boss fights I'd been playing in Arkham. Mm-hmm. It felt like a fight. It felt, it wasn't a gimmick fight. It wasn't a have Bane run into the wall over there, and when he runs into the gas, then you can strike him, then back away and let him do it again, then strike it. It wasn't this repetitive, mechanic sort of thing. There were repetitive actions in it, I know from watching the video and stuff, but it still made you feel like you were in a fight. Mm-hmm. And having to go through it. So, yeah, anyway. We are running out of time because we took so long on that last section. I want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat room and listening on the stream and on the radio. Thanks, everybody who grabs a C-Tweak from iTunes or however you get our show for later use. We appreciate it. Go to ingamechat.net. Join us on Twitter, Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you're watching us on Twitch, subscribe to I don't know where the button is. Subscribe. And you can, join our Discord. We got a Discord and all this other stuff. Thanks, everybody. We do appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. We appreciate your calls. We appreciate you all so much. Have a great week. We will see you next Saturday. Here is some truly horrible video game music from Stuart Chatwood. It is Prince of Persia Warrior Within, and it is the most horrible Drek I think we have ever played on the show. Enjoy.
What a way to go out.